Los Angeles Chargers at the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs favored by 5.5. Chargers coming off another heartbreaker. I mean, the Chargers are going to lose by 3, right? It's just what's going to happen.
I mean, that was a terrible game by Justin Herbert against, and it wasn't even the sort of lack of, incredible big throws. It was like you schemed up wide open
throws. Some open throws he missed.
Wide open double moves. You missed them twice. Yeah. Can't do that. That's criminal. I mean, that's the kind of play where if that was Jordan Love, we would be saying this is why he can't be a good quarterback. Now, we know Justin Herbert can be a good quarterback, but he left those two on the table in a game where that would have been the difference.
Everybody's going to miss. I mean, when the Jags beat the Chargers in that big comeback, Herbert airmailed an open touchdown, and it would have put him up by like 30.
Right.
And it wasn't the reason why the Chargers lost, but it's like, all right, those are the types of things you have to hit.
And you certainly, I mean, whatever about everyone misses a throw, right? Like Jimmy Garoppolo missed the one in the Super Bowl. Now, you can argue that missing them at the key moment is actually the difference between, Jimmy Garoppolo and Patrick Mahomes or whatever. But the point is, everyone misses those throws. You can't miss 2 of them. Like, you got to at least be 50-50 on those in a game. If you manage to dial up 2 coverage bust, wide open double move plays down the field, you can't go 0 for 2. You just cannot. And he did. So I kind of assume that you're not going to get that version of Justin Herbert 2 weeks in a row.
The funny thing about the game flow on Monday night, both teams were 7-7, right? Early in the first quarter, it's like, all right, this is going to be a shootout.
Yeah.
We got Kellen Moore's best, and we got Dak and the Cowboys. It's going to be awesome. And then it just scoring slowed down. On script, it looked great for the Chargers. I just think the more you see this offense with Mike Williams hurt now, and Quentin Johnston, the rookie, you didn't love Johnston as a prospect. He's big, fast. It feels like he's kind of like when DK Metcalf came in. Is he a slants and goes? Stick with that. But even then, the ball skills aren't great. But you might sneak a few big plays in there. You're just not getting anything. It just feels very fragile, and it's just Keenan Allen. And Keenan Allen, I think, is a fantastic football player. And he can be a big play threat. Like, he would have been a big play threat because he ran a good double move and it was overthrown. But he's still he's your uber, possession guy. He's your high volume possession guy. And it just feels fragile. I mean, Austin Eckler running the ball pretty well, but there's just a disconnect in this offense right now for the Chargers.
No, there is. Like, that, it's not where it needs to be. I'm most disappointed in the Quentin Johnston thing because I don't feel that they're setting him up to succeed particularly. Like, I think it's difficult to create an offense where every receiver is flawed and you need to put each one of them like in a specific role so that they can be good, right? But I think you can do that with one guy, and they only need to do it with one guy. The other ones, I think, can play their role fine. Just let Quentin Johnston do what he's good at. And they're not really. They're plugging him in and expecting him to be Mike Williams, basically. And that's not going to work. So I think I'm kind of disappointed that they haven't bent things more to fit what he does well.
And now you're going up against a Chiefs defense. They're number 3 EPA per play allowed against the pass. And it looks like the best defense Patrick Mahomes has had by far. Or at least they're playing like that. Charles Omenihu should be coming back too, right? To add a little depth on the defensive line coming off of his suspension. Chiefs are looking really good on the defensive side of the ball. Offense certainly has their questions. I was looking it up today. Patrick Mahomes, just using I know passer rating is not the best stat, but just painting a picture here. Passer rating of 118 against man. Don't shake your head at me.
You asshole.
Only because, it doesn't matter about sacks. Talking about the passes here. 118 against man, only an 83 passer rating against zone, and that's what the Chargers are going to play. However, but Mahomes' grade is similar. The PFF grade is similar versus man or zone, so that's telling me, we talk about the disconnect with the receiving core right now. It's not that they can't get open against man or whatever it is. It's really just the nuanced parts of the position, being in the right place at the right time. Scramble drill with Mahomes, a lot of those things that, again, Travis Kelce does like in his sleep. You don't have enough of that from the rest of the Chiefs receiving core. I think that's where they're lacking. I don't think they're lacking talent. Your guy Sky Moore, Rashee Rice, they've got talent there. They just traded for Mecole Hardman. I think it's really just the being on the same page with Mahomes. And I don't know, that might actually be encouraging for the Chiefs that more Rashee Rice as the year goes on. Maybe they make another move. There's still opportunities to grow for this passing attack.
So, quietly, the Chargers' run defense has actually gotten fixed this year. Like the thing that had been crippling them for the last couple of seasons, where they'd been the worst run defense in the NFL. It's actually above average this year in terms of just yards per attempt.
At the expense of
their
passing attack.
That's the thing. Whilst that's happened, Joey Bosa has stopped playing good football. And Khalil Mack kind of only showed up against the Raiders that one time. Like, they don't have the pass rush, and they don't have anybody playing particularly well in coverage. The player, number 3, whose name must not be mentioned thus, or for fear of jinxing him with injuries.
Number 3 on the Chargers is disappointing this year.
Yeah.
He's having his worst season of any career since ever, of his entire life.
Yeah.
He certainly didn't play this bad in high school or at Florida State.
No.
Or early in his NFL career.
So you've got a couple of players performing well over the season, but generally not many, and certainly not when it comes to stopping the pass. So, like, they've kind of fixed – I don't think they're doing it like – it's not a consequence of that. Like, I don't think they've decided, hey, we need to shut down the run at the expense of everything else. Forget playing the pass. Just focus on the run game. I don't think that's what they've done, like a conscious thing. But I think weirdly – they fixed the area that was problematic, and now the other area has fallen to pieces.
The Chiefs did not, again, the Broncos, we mentioned, have by far the worst EPA per play allowed. It wasn't like the Chiefs tore them apart, as we guessed. They were very weird in third and fourth down on short yardage and everything. So there's a lot of times the Chiefs trick plays just didn't work. But they should have some opportunities, I think, against this Chargers defense. Anytime the player goes up against Travis Kelce, I think that's always a great matchup.
Only if it's actually a matchup, like, put them on him.
If it is, and I think the Chargers should play that game, because honestly, Kelce has an 83 grade. Everyone else, Rashee Rice has an 81. Everyone else is 50s and 60s for the Chiefs pass catchers. There is a world where if you could somehow slow down Kelce, right, or take him out of the game, and make Mahomes rely on all the other young guys, or guys where they're just not on the same page as much. There is a world where maybe you could slow them down.
But I think sort of the last Kansas City game, remember when it was like, how can you not stop Kelce at this point? He is the offense. In a weird way, I think you still making Kansas City play like that is still the best thing that you can do as a defense. It's like, yes, they will pick up 6 yards every play if they just play Mahomes to Kelce, option routes, let him go wherever the space is. They will do that, but that's probably still better than like putting 3 guys on Kelce and then somebody else is wide open one-on-one for a 50-yard gain.
Yeah.
Now, the person that's wide open might be Sky Moore or some other receiver that you don't have a ton of confidence in actually making the play. But I think it's still it seems dumb when you're getting killed by 1,000 paper cuts. But I still think the 1,000 paper cuts is the correct approach against this Kansas City offense. So I don't know that you will see teams going out of their way to stop that connection working.
Do you want to take a stab? I'm going to use passer rating again.
Wow. The nerds must hate
They're
you.
going to be so mad at me. But do you want to take a stab at Patrick Mahomes' passer rating on 20-plus yard throws this year?
84.
41.8.
Yikes.
And the guy that he's hit the most, he's got 3 picks. No touchdowns, 3 picks. 8 for 23. And the guy who's hit the most is Justin Watson, who just got hurt. And Watson's been this, he's not a great every down receiver. He's got some good speed. He gets behind the defense. Hasn't hit Marquez Valdez-Scantling with a ton of deep passes like he did last year. So just something to keep an eye on. Do you start to, make him, like Mahomes still has those in him, but is it actually reversing course now where it used to be, play too high, be afraid of the deep ball, and it's actually like, you know what, make him do that. Because when he's thrown, I think I would. When he's thrown the ball deep this year, there's some underthrows. He's not seeing safeties all the time. He's had 2 interceptions negated where he's just thrown it up to safeties.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I might challenge these Chiefs receivers. The problem with playing man, though, is Mahomes is a scrambler. Top rushing grade in the NFL, and he's got that feel, and he knows how to get just enough.
Yeah, and he understands, DB leverage. He understands back shoulder throws. Like, he understands where to put the ball so that your man coverage gets negated. That's what I'm saying. I still think the best thing to do is what teams are doing to them at the moment. It's just that you look kind of silly when you're getting beaten by this like rabbit punch over and over again. But that's still better than the bomb that they're going to hit if you try and take that away.
All right, Chargers getting 5.5 here against the Chiefs. Chiefs favored by 5.5. That's the other way of saying it.
Yeah.
Even despite the Monday night disappointment for the Chargers, I think this is their year to at least beat the Chiefs once. So I think they'll keep it within the 5.5, maybe even pull off the upset. Because Kansas City's offense has shown some weakness this year compared to last year, where they were pretty much start to finish legit.
Yeah,
so
it's not been particularly good.
Take the Chargers to cover this.
No, I'm taking Kansas City.